and welcome back to Beekeeping Basics with Danny. So we are currently running on the 2nd of April. We are officially in summertime now, and we've had a cracking March. Spring was far better this year than it was last year. Beekeeping last year went off fairly late, before we could really start doing inspections, and the bees were really picking up, because last year was pretty dull. We had a lot of rain, wind, and the temperatures wasn't great till really late on the year. But this year it's been cracking. The bees have been buzzing around, and today is going to be the first day that I now finally, after doing these bees over winter, we are now finally going to get in and do our first inspections. And it is a little bit breezy, but believe it or not, this thermometer at the moment, with the sun on it, granted, is saying 22 degrees. In my van when I pulled up, it said 17. There's a bit of a difference, the sun is on that. So the temperatures are good. It's currently about 1:30 in the afternoon. So it's perfect to get into these hives for the first time. Now we are on a double brood. I double brooded these over the winter period. So I'm not sure how this is going to pan out. That one's not going to be so bad because I have got a brood box and 2 supers. So in the worst case scenario, I'll just slide in a queen excluder. And then if there is, for any reason, brood in the top there, it will hatch itself out, and the queen's not going to be able to go out there and lay more eggs. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get in there. It may well be that the bottom brood box is relatively empty, because they've all moved up, because that's what bees generally do, they all move up. But I don't know, until we take it apart, we'll work out what we want to do. But I really want to run these on a brood and a half through the summer, ideally. But we'll see where we're at with them, and we'll take it from there. So without further ado, let's go into this hive here first. And as you well may notice, we've now lost the big nuke. That was also, I overwintered over winter, and that was thriving, that was doing really good, and a fellow beekeeper has now got that. So I've kept another beekeeper and a load more bees happy. So we succeeded. We succeeded all of the summer and all of the winter. First year in beekeeping, so it can be done, guys, and this is the whole point of me doing these videos. Last year was my very first year of beekeeping, and I jumped into the deep end and I thought, well, let's give it a go. I filmed everything that I'd done to show you guys that it can be done. So if you've got demons in your head and you've got doubts, do your course first and foremost, but go for it. Don't hold back. If it's what you want to do it. It can be done, and my videos from last year will prove that. So enough chatting, let's get into that hive there first. So nice clean tool. I got that cleaned up while I wasn't using it over the winter, and I have actually bought another one for the other hive. So throughout the year we've got a hive tool for each hive. So we'll put the lid down like so. And we've been feeding these fondant over the winter, and we give them some pollen pates not so long ago. And I'll lose that, because although I could probably have taken that off with the super, but I won't. It has the crown board on it. So we'll get into, let's see if we can lift this with the actual crown board. Would be really, really nice. Now, what we've got to remember, there's going to be propolis all on this. This was sealed up for the winter. So this is going to be slightly tricky to open up, I'm guessing. the crown board as well, because I'm pretty sure it's getting a bit on the damp side. What I'll do is, done this all a bit, oh, it's about face. We remove that just for the minute. Now, there's moth in there, which potentially may not be good. Wax moth. So, hopefully, so you can see there is, you know, there's been a little bit of mould where we've had moisture, you know, over this winter. But it's going to happen, you know. It's been insulated, and heat and cold unfortunately causes this sort of issues. Got the ants in here. Obviously, it's, you know, it does attract a lot of the bugs. Taking this crown board off. I've got the smoker lit ready. Got this, and that seems to be relatively damp there. Or does it just look it? No, it does look. So they're a bit on the damp side. Excuse me, I've got all this tape on here, so it's making it a little bit awkward right now. So we'll just remove that. And there we go. So, just going to have a check at the bottom. A few bees. So, we're going to have a look in. Do have a slug there. But all in all, you know, it's not looking too bad. So let's start by pulling one of these out. Remember, we have no queen excluder, so now we want to be a little bit careful. And this is the stalls that we left them. We've still got some of the stalls there. You know, they didn't get. See, that is still honey there. Believe it or not. What I didn't do is get my and again, you know, didn't get through their stalls at all. Just amazed me, really. That is still just honey. Or is this what they've been doing meanwhile? Slightly confused, don't really know. I mean, again, it's magnificent. I mean, look at that. Just may well be that this is what they've done up till now. We are being careful with this because obviously we never know, the queen could be up here. We treated all this with Varroa when we needed to, and as you can see, I've not even needed to use the smoker at this point. What we're going to do, we're just going to remove that bit. Due to it being a little bit on the sticky side when I put it back in, but again, that is complete honey. You've got to love Buckfast bees for this because they are so relaxed bees. And what I'm going to do is, if I can find my frame holder, which is here, we're going to offload one on there just to help the situation out, give me a bit more room rather than putting the frame back in. And I do believe we pulled the third one out just then, so we'll go for this fourth one. Wow, look at that. And these haven't really been feeding on any of the fondant I give this hive. They literally wasn't interested in it, and probably this is the reason why, because, and they are filling that is actually filled. We'll see it with the sun glisten on it. They are filling this with honey right now. So I do believe that they have been working on that. Just make sure that queen isn't on there with the weather that we've actually had. Trying to get into my suit there. Put them back in there. And again, another one. You're going to get a few anxy bees because I am now going in, you know. And again, it's an amazing sight. They're filling that up. Obviously, you know, this was already drawn out from last year. And they're filling it up nicely already. It seems like they've been working from the outside in. Remember, always keep your frame over the hive, like I'm doing now, because what you don't want to do is, for any reason, drop that queen somewhere. At least you know she'll fall into the hive. Textbook stuff, really. What we've got to remember is that was the 1, 2, 3. That was the fourth frame. So we're going to try and, when we put this back, get it into order. Okay, so the queen's been up here because there is larvae in there, which is a good sign. She's laying. And this queen is a 2023 queen, and there she is. She's up here. If you can see just there. So it goes to show she's up the top there, look, and she's still looking beautiful as ever. So what we're going to do is, we've seen her, so we're going to put that back in very gently. And again, checking out what's going on. Now, I was hoping to have put the queen excluder underneath this one. And already we have a play cup there. But with the queen up here, it's going to make it slightly tricky. So we have a play cup there already. Just going to take that down. Just going to have a little look in there. See what's what. Got some drone brood appearing here. Just there. As you can see, and there is larvae in there, and it's looking nice and white, which is always good. So we're going to just put that one back in there, just so we know the queen is on that one. And we're going to do that very gently indeed. And again, we're just going to have a browse through, and lots of larvae in that as well. So she's been up here laying. Another little play cup there. Always checking inside. And I'm going to remove that. And it's busting my bees already. And this is why we do our inspections, because for this reason. All different pollens in there, different colours. They're filling it with the pollen that's been coming in, that we've been seeing. And last but not least, we're going to just have a look at this end one. Yeah, and that's pretty how I expect it to be. It's pretty empty. So we're going to put these back in order, nice and gently again, to how they was. And we're going to place the fourth one in. Remembering the queen was on this frame somewhere around here. So nice and gently as we do it. The gloves are slightly too big. Don't want to go doing any kind of unnecessary damage. Some of these, with the honey in them, you really feel the weight already. So 1, 2, 3, and now we've got the room to put this one back, which is a full-blown honey frame. We'll get the correct spacings, otherwise they will build a lot of comb out on it. Don't want that. Always keep your frames together. So we know the queen is in there, in this top. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this crown board back on, just for the minute. And there we have it. So we're going to take off any of this that we can, because we don't want that right now on there. That's just what's broken off the underside of the others. Obviously we don't want to kill no bees, so in the process, so we'll be careful. But we will just get them off. This is another reason why we do these inspections. We can just give them a good clean up. We don't want any of this on there. This is what they've done over the winter. Right, and what we do is get that back on there just to help us out. And again, we go for the very last one. Get this one out, give us some room. I think most of the activity is going to be up the top. A couple of dead bees there. It's full of honey, look. Literally full. Potentially, well, they are filling it. You can see it's got wet in there. But you know, I did leave these bees some of their stalls. And again, look at that. It's amazing. It really is amazing. We'll put them two together. You know that they go down there. So, as far as I can see, most of our activity is in the top super box that we had up the top. We have got, you know, X amount of bees here, granted. But bees this time of year, especially through the winter, do come up to the top rather than hanging around at the bottom. Again, look at that. It's unbelievable. And again, you can't see any sign of any egg laying or any larvae in any of this at the moment. So might be that the queen is only doing it at the top. Pollen in there. No sign of any eggs or larvae in that again. But they are bringing in the pollen and they are certainly storing the pollen. Gloves are slightly annoying because they're too big. So there's plenty of eggs in this one that I can see. And larvae, lots of larvae in this one. Now we are pushing to the middle. The queen always works in the middle. Lots and lots of larvae on or in there. It's a great sign. She's certainly laying. Nice early. That will be capped over very soon. Nice bit of cap brood there, look. And there. Just having a good check about. Just want to see what's going on there. Yeah, so we do have cap brood. It is a bit spotty over. Not so sure whether that's just where they've hatched potentially. Recently hatched. I'm not so sure. Keep an eye on this. And again, lots of cap brood there as well. Our bees in there cleaning them out, so and all these bees on here, you know, the wings, and they all look healthy as well, so that's a good sign. They all do look healthy. One thing I don't miss is the bending over, giving me severe backache. Just want to have a good check in there. Caprood larvae, plenty of larvae. Again, it's nice when you get the sun on it, you can actually see right in. Lots of larvae all laid in there. And just where all the bees are gathered is where the larvae is, so get that back in. Very stuck down. And again, lots of different colour pollens. Nothing on the back side. What we're going to do is, I just want to offload any of this on the sides. You can see all the propolis that they build up, seal everything up over the winter time. Remove some of that, make life a little bit easier for ourselves. We can see where they was. Again, just removing all of that. Putting that back over. Now we just put back in what come out. Nice stalls there. As you can see, it's slightly tight. Okay, so what I think I'll do is I'll remove that one and we'll put it on top of this one here, just for a minute. Making sure the queen and that's not on the top here anywhere before we do it. Very stuck down. So we'll just gently put that super on top of that, keeping it all in order. And now we'll have a little look at what's going on the bottom brood. So bees generally move themselves up. We actually got a bit of mould going on that one. It's a little bit mouldy. Obviously got damp potentially got damp down that side through the winter. As you can see, not so sure what we'll do with that. It's dripping out. It's got lots of honey in it. Put that to one side for the time being. Just move off this propolis again. Like I say, they move their way up, so I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot of anything happening within this bottom brood area. Which isn't a bad thing, because I can, and again, you know, completely empty. The only trouble is, I wish I had had a brood box instead of 2 supers there now, because what I'm going to effectively do is put them 2 supers in replacement of this. Whereas the one just over there, if that's the same as this, is not a problem, because I can offload it and we can then wood lice. We can just swap it around completely empty. Look, lots of dead bees and that in the bottom there as well, so it'll make their life a little bit more easier. Again, as you can see, this is what they do. They move their way up of the hive, tend to be warmer there. Completely empty down here, look. As you can see, there's just too many bees to clear out over that period of time. We can do that now. So we're going to put the entrance block back in, as we took this out. A while back. So I'll put that back into there. Put that back into there, like so. And then we'll get the supers back on. So, it's just slightly annoying because I want this to be a brood box, but not 2 supers. Lesson learned. Maybe able to do something come autumn of this coming year. So, you know, the queen's in this top, doing what she does best, laying our eggs. I made that I didn't swap it over, so if we just run a brood box throughout this summer, which I don't know whether I'll be able to do, it takes double the time. I should just be pulling out big brood frames like this here, but obviously the queen's been laying in here now, and it's a slightly tricky one. I'm not, maybe some comments would be advisable. I'll seal this back up. So they've still got plenty of room at the moment, so we'll seal it back up and we'll go for the go for what's best, I think. So back on with the lid, brown board. How did we have it? It was that way around.